Hi, Charles from Fabertech Group. Today I would like to have a maybe a little bit longer video, and the subject is why you need to have a CNC in your workshop, in your production. And I don't care if it's Fabertech CNC, if it's 20, 30,000 pounds or 100,000 pounds. Is it router? Is it fiber laser? You need to have a numerically controlled machine in your operation, because to be honest, guys, it's not 1985 and they are affordable at the moment. And with the lack of, let's say, skilled labor, you need to look ahead into your future and think, how you can improve your operations, how you can improve your production. So it's gonna be 12 points. Maybe in the meantime, I'm gonna add something. But first point, definitely it's repeatability and no errors. So generally on CNC router, fiber laser, 95% of your work, it's on the computer, drinking a cup of coffee or tea, designing vectors, making sure everything aligns before you even start to cut 700 pounds stainless steel sheet or, I don't know, cliff board with 3D leather, embossing for 250 pounds jumbo sheet. So you limit your errors, you limit your, let's say, scrap you're gonna throw into the skip. And I think that's a huge selling point, because with the panel saws, with manual cutting, with, I don't know, Festool plant saw on Makita or DeWalt, whatever you fancy brand wise, you're always gonna have some errors. You're gonna have some chip outs. You're gonna have some damage. You're gonna, let's say, take jumbo sheet and you're gonna offcut 100 millimeters to distress the board, so you don't have a bowing. I know all of that. I've been there and I've done all of the heavy lifting in my joinery business. And to be honest, I shoot myself all the time why I haven't invested on the first day when I opened joinery shop. So at the moment, you have to have it. Whatever you design, the machine is gonna follow. 99.9 cases, it's operator's error. If you design something wrong, machine is stupid, it's gonna follow it. So it's a lot of pre-cutting work, measure 3 times, design your vectors in the software, and then when you're ready, when you're sure that you haven't made a mistake in the software, you then cutting. So literally there is no damaged boards, there is no miscuts, there is no, let's say, scrap which you're gonna throw out, because you can foolproof it before it even go to the machine. So that's one important point. Another one, you don't need joiners, cabinet makers, chippies. You don't need guys who are cutting it by hand, 5 boards per day and try to, measure everything 5 times and they make mistake. You just, even if you one-man band, even if you have 2 or 3 guys in the workshop, you don't need to hire another operator, because it's so simple, at least on our machines and some on the competition, it's very simple. We have people who, if they design something on the computers, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and they cutting on our machines, on our controllers. And it's very similar with other affordable brands. With more expensive brands, SCM, Felder, Homag, Bizerover, those, established brands, nice brands, nice machines. But sometimes, in my opinion, I think they over-design the menu, because there is nothing else you can do in those machines to justify the cost. So they over-design the menu. Sometimes they make it too difficult. You need maybe 2, 3, 5 days training. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, sometimes it's just too much. I believe it has to be simple. It has to be crystal clear for the operator. 16-year-old apprentice and 17-year-old seasoned joiner has to jump on the machine and cut in 1 hour. There is no excuses. If he's not cutting, then or something is wrong with our training, or we need maybe spend a little bit more time with that particular person to grasp. But in 440 machines sold, maybe we have 2, 3 cases when someone need extra training, extra, let's say, touch and care to get him to this stage when they can do everything by themselves. So it's a huge saving. Even the cheapest joiner, chippy, that's gonna cost you 35,000, 40,000 per year. That's not even cost of the machine when we talk Fabertech or other affordable brands. So I think it's no-brainer. And as I mentioned in the point 1, 95% on designing, on preparation, on work on CNC, it's done in the software. So when you pop into the machine, you just set the datum point, set the Z-axis, measure the tools only once, and you just press run cycle, start button, green button, that's it. Load the file, that's it. It's 7 minutes, the jumbo ship is done. So there is no person needed, special operator for the CNC, except when you're running bigger workshop, 20, 30 guys, then you need the operator for cleaning elements, for having a nice flow, cutting 40, 60 boards per day. You need someone who's going to be dedicated to machine. But for the most of the smaller workshops, perfectly fine. You can run it yourself with your lads. 1, 2, 3 guys. You don't need anyone extra. You don't need third person who's going to be running the CNC. And also now with the free, with the 3D design software, it's literally you put the type of the cabinet. Is it floor cabinet, or is it a wall cabinet, or is it ladder, or is it high cabinet? You just put the dimension, type of fixings. Is it the back panel? Is it slot on the rebates? Literally, the whole kitchen, if you're not gonna design in 30, 60 minutes in the 3D design software with 15 cabinets, again, something is wrong. Because now there are solutions which allows you to do everything, allows you to do continuous plinths, worktop cutouts, everything, where the connection is gonna be, where the butterfly fixings is gonna be under the worktop, all of the kick plates. This software takes everything from your hand. So it's no excuse, yes, you need to spend a couple of days, maybe a week or two, getting familiar with particular software, and there is 10, 20 on the market, from £100 per month to 15,000 for some SolidWorks or whatever, very sophisticated programs, which you don't need. But generally, it's now so easy that don't be afraid, don't be daunted. The CNC, it's not like it was 1975 when you literally need to learn Linux and all of the softwares to literally write the G-code manually. Everything is done automatically. So don't be afraid of CNC. Now, the point number 3. To be honest, most of our clients, of course, not one-man band who is doing one kitchen per month or something, but if you have a workshop, 5, 10 guys, the purchase cost of even the basic M1 machine, 20,000 with ATC, or M2 jumbo sheet, 32,000 with a bigger pump, or even more expensive, 40, 50,000 machines from the competitors, you're gonna recoup this cost in 6, 9 months time, no longer. If you even adjust for the price of materials lost on panel saw, mistakes, operators cost, joiners who are cutting manually on the panel saw, doing side drillings, doing all of these unnecessary operations, I think even in 4 or 5 months time, you're gonna recoup the price of the machine. Of course, 6, 9, it's on the safe side. Believe me, I have clients who are popping in and they're buying second, third machine, and they're thanking me for sometimes pushing them for the purchase. So, and now even with the cost of lease, I know it's 6% yearly or 7%. It's dropping down now in 2025. It's dropping down the APR a little bit. But guys, this 6% on £30,000, that's gonna be £1,500 yearly. So that's extra £120 monthly. Don't tell me you're not gonna save per day £120 of someone who is cutting manually boards on panel saw and making mistake. One board is gonna cost you £120 sometimes. So I know, I hate lease, I hate financing, credit and stuff. I try to buy everything outright. I understand you, I know where you're coming from. But to be honest, just get the asset like you're buying a van on lease, like you're buying other stuff. You have it already and it's working and it's paying off straight away. And if you have a jobs, if you have 3, 4, 5 kitchens per month, this machine is gonna be paid off in 6 months time. So even those, extra £1,000, £2,000 yearly, I know it's a huge amount of money, but you already have your toy, you're already cutting, you're already not making mistakes. That's what you need in your workshop. It's not 19th century anymore. I understand traditional work, but you have to move into more streamlined production, error-free, fault-free, and enjoyment and time more, more time on your hands. So really, guys, you can recoup this investment in a couple of months' time. Number 4, some things, guys, I know because I spend my years on the chisel, trying to, you know, shave nice moldings and chamfer stuff and do dovetails by hand. But guys, some of the things like carving, intricate details, 3D carving, 3D models, foam, slicing elements to maybe 3 meters high element by slicing it and gluing later. Maybe some intricate chamfers or moldings. You cannot do it by hand, let's say, in comparable time. So if you're doing more let's say, carving, archways, windows on churches, old historical buildings, grade 1, grade 2 listed, you have to have a CNC. You're not gonna be spending, please, you know, except if you have a YouTube channel, I don't know, joinery, porn, OnlyFans, and you have 12 cameras, and you're gonna be playing around for 12 days to do one frame. Then I understand. You may have a Patreon, payments, and, you know, subscribers. Yes, that's the only occasion when you can justify it. But to have a profit, to have a time, to have, you know, enjoyment from work, you just need machine to do it, and you focus on something which machine cannot do. So yes, number 4, some things can only be done by CNC, or the time to do it by hand and by CNC is literally 10, 20 folds more than the machine would do it. It's no sense to do it by hand anymore. Number 5, which we're always opening the companies, I think partly it's to have a better profit, to be more, let's say, economically free, to be more competitive with our, you know, other colleagues which are on the market. And with the CNC machine, that's gonna give you huge profit. If you just change the fixings, you just change everything to be surface mounted, that's connected with next point, you literally take the cabinet and assemble it from the CNC. It's again, coming to the previous point, it's like tenfold improvements in your time, in your profitability, by not having errors, not doing stupid work all day long. So profit, and then next time, it's huge saving using the CNC machine, and I cannot emphasize it enough. If you look at the profit, repeatability, and quickly getting cabinets, for example, the same cabinets, no questions asked. You have to have a CNC machine or fiber laser. If you're doing thousands of parts, you cannot subcontract it. You need to do it. You cannot, you know, cut by hand or cut by punching machine or something like that. You need the machine which gonna do it automatically. Now, point number 6, very important. I know, and the competitors probably gonna hate me for that. With just a couple of particular fixings and changes of cutting and assembly of your cabinets, and most of the cabinetry, you don't need any other machine. You don't need panel saw. You don't need boring machine, side drilling machine, 5-axis drilling machines. You don't need biscuit jointers. You don't need extra 60,000 pounds of machines in the workshop. I have clients literally for last 4 years, their panel saw, or they sold it, or they use it for quick offcuts, maybe doing frames 36 millimeters to connect the carcasses together, edge of carcasses, or some simple cuts which on CNC is gonna take you longer to, you know, to design the vectors. But generally, yes, other brands will tell you, no, you need dovell fixings, you need this, you need side drilling, you need another machine for that, because of course they want to sell you more. I don't give a shit, because I was a joiner and I know how much hassle it is connected with cabinetry making, and I always look with the lean side, lean management approach. How can I streamline it? How can I not buy another machine, not buy another expensive tool, but do everything on one machine? And the CNC is gonna give you that opportunity. Just by changing fixings, for example, you know, cabineo, that's a surface mounted fixing. Literally, you're just gonna do 3 drills on the side of the cabinet shelf and 1 hole in the carcass, and that's it. You just tighten it up. After taking it from CNC machine, 5 minutes, the carcass is ready. You don't need dovels, you don't need biscuits, you don't need any tenons, you don't need any other machine aside from CNC to assemble most of the cabinetry. Of course, if you have a very traditional kitchen or something, you need to use biscuit joiner, non-visible fixings, yes. But for years, I also shoot myself in the foot because I taught all of the designers, Kelly Hopen, which we've done the work for her, lots of actors and stuff, they wanted non-visible fixings. No, no one gives a shit. Only occasionally, 1 in 50 clients, oh, we want biscuits, we want, non-visible connectors. Most of them, they listen to you as a specialist in cabinetry making. So you can dictate the rules, how you want to do cabinetry. And if the cabinet is gonna take you 5 minutes to assemble, compared to 2 hours of gluing, clamping, putting corners, making sure 90 degrees, okay, and just making mistakes and then smashing it up and making new one, you are dictating the terms as a cabinet maker. So these fixings, Rafix, at the moment there is like 5, 6 different types of fixings which you can just do surface mounted preparation on the board, on the jumbo sheet or 8x4, take the carcass, do the edge banding and tighten it up. Again, if it takes you more than 5-10 minutes to assemble the carcass after taking it from the CNC, again, something is wrong. I have literally, and I cannot reiterate it and emphasize enough, I have on exhibition, for example, I have 3 nice lads, 22, 24 years old, and they wanted to do everything in like 1980s traditional way. And they were surprised that there are fixings like that which allows you to streamline your production and make it quick, make it efficient, and have a time and profit and enjoyment from work. So really just by tweaking a little bit of your production, you can just have one CNC machine, edge bander in the joinery business. Of course, with the fiber lasers, just fiber laser cutting machine, press brake. Of course, you may have some, punching, folding. Metal working is slightly different, but in woodworking, CNC, router, and edge bander, nothing else. And don't be fooled by, sales guys who wants to, have a nice profit and sales quota because they need to do 500,000 in the month. So just think if you can do everything on CNC, you can always call me, have a chat, what types of work you're doing, and I would advise you from my heart how I would do it to maximize the time and the profit. Now, number 7, very important. We're not getting younger, yes? Some of you are 20 years old, heavy lifting, 100 kilos all the time. Some of you cannot lift the jumbo sheet, which are 80 kilos. So with CNC, there is no stupid, lifting on panel saw. Panel saw is bouncing left and right because you put 80 kilo on it and it's not made for it. You have to clamp it. You have to make sure that the cut is gonna be straight. No more silliness like that. You literally get yourself forklift, small forklift, even electric pallet stacker or something like that. Slide the boards, put it against the positioning pins. That's it. That's your only heavy lifting. And then, of course, clean the much lighter elements, carcass parts, doors, whatever you're going to design, drawer fronts from the CNC, which is not heavy. So I know small issue, but no one wants to carry, 200 boards per week. After 10 years, your back is not going to thank you. So I think it's important. Now, number 8, time. I know some of you running the company, you want to run the company 6 days, 7 days per week, Saturday, Sunday, evenings, morning, 5 o'clock, staying on site till 8 p.m. Sorry guys, but again, we're not getting any younger, and I don't know how about you, but I want to spend time with my family. I want to sometimes go on holiday without worrying about the business, and CNC is gonna give you this opportunity. Because, as I mentioned in previous point, it's tenfold speed up of operation, of preparation, all of your carcasses and panels and everything. And you're gonna notice that after a month, all of your projects are already cutted, edge banded, and suddenly per month you couldn't do 3 kitchens, and now you're doing 3 kitchens in a week. Your mind is gonna be just blown, because there is not gonna be errors, not gonna be any discrepancies, there's not gonna be any cock-ups, there's not gonna be any chip outs. You just take the element, put it into edge bander, element is ready. You break something, in 2 minutes you're gonna load the old program, put the board, press start, and in 2 minutes you're gonna have the new panel. You don't have to run between the panels or anything. So it's a lot of predictability, and you know that if something goes wrong, you can very easily rectify it. So time At least in my dictionary, it's very important. And when we bought our first CNC, I bought my first CNC in my joinery when I saw, I think it was Camille, one of my joiners. We were doing 2.8 meters long doors with the 1/3, 2/3 shaker recesses with the Wenge applied veneer on our press machines. And inside we had the mirrors and leather panels. And when I saw from my little 2 square meters office in the previous times, Camille literally, making a jig and trying by hand router to do it, and every third door damaging the edges, damaging the veneer on the edge, making something deeper, something too shallow. I was like, it was literally one day when I grabbed the phone and I ordered the first CNC from Poland because it was more affordable than from UK. And I waited a couple of years for that. And I was like crying when I got it, because after a month, even the workshop guys, even the joiners, everything was much more streamlined. No stress because someone cock up something. Better environment to work. And knowledge that you can just throw something and cut it in 2 minutes time perfectly, exactly like it was 2 weeks ago, and now you're assembling and something is damaged. This peace of mind and time saving, I think you cannot put the price on it, at least in my opinion. I don't know how you, but I was running like headless chicken and I didn't have the time for anything. I almost missed the birth of my son. Everybody was chasing me. So I know how are you, probably in the same way, and I want you to slow down a little bit and enjoy life. The work-life balance or something, I don't believe in work from home or anything like that. We are the guys who are, literally breaking our nails and doing heavy stuff. So we have to be on site, we have to be in the workshop. But we can minimize the amount of silly work which we do if we don't have to do, because those machines doesn't cost 150,000 anymore. Now, next point, number 9. If you have your machine, tell me, at least 5-10 guys, your colleagues, other chippies who are doing some work, builders maybe who are ordering some cabinetry, you're doing something, oh, can you cut me this, can you cut me that? On subcontracting, just the guys who are popping into your workshop, can you cut me, Jake, can you cut me 3 boards? You can charge per board from simple cuts around 40 pounds to, let's say you have a fretting work or lots of cuts, lots of linear meters, or you need to use 2, 3, 4 cutters, and of course you're gonna have some wear and tear. You can charge 120 pounds per board if it's gonna take longer. So imagine, coming back to my point 3, how quickly you can recoup the cost of the machine or monthly payment, even if it's on the finance. I know I hate it, but don't worry, you're gonna recoup that in no time. So even subcontracting for someone else, even with the metal, I have clients who are popping in. Our simplest FL3 machine, fiber laser, costs like 45,000-50,000 for 2-3 kilowatt. And they're telling me they're spending 12,000 pounds on parts cutted somewhere else, and they're waiting 2-3 weeks. It's like paying off in 5 months' time, this machine, without even cutting, for anyone else, just your own products. Same with the CNC routers. I heard every week stories, and I just cannot believe, why they haven't moved sooner into this, CNC, investment. But that's going to be a next point. So subcontracting, very important. You're always going to find someone in the 30-mile radius who would like to cut something on CNC because they cannot do it by hand, or they don't have the tools, or maybe something was messed up on the site and they need something next day or the same day. So think of it, it opens you, let's say, another area of your business, maybe not the big one at the beginning, but you may have some extra 10, 15, 20% by doing that kind of work. So generally, asset is not standing and doing nothing, it's not idle. You're always gonna find something to get it going. And I like, at least my Fabricators machines, I like them to cut 10 hours per day, just put them to the heavy use. This is designed for 6-ton load, and the gantry is 650 kilos. So you can run it 10 hours per day. I don't care, it's not gonna lose squareness, not gonna, cry for, for any service in the, year or 2 times. So don't worry. Now, number 10. Another stream of stream of profit. Over time, when you're gonna, I know most of you, majority of you are probably doing furniture, cabinetry, some you know, maybe signage, and you're going on site, you're going on installation, so you're not constantly in the workshop. But by having more time, by streamlining this cutting operations and making sure the production is much quicker, over time, by having this toy in your workshop, you will start to maybe design your product. Maybe a nice cabinet which you can sell on Etsy, on eBay, or whatever, on your Shopify shop. Maybe some, you know, advertisement. I have a client who is selling hundreds of wooden keychains for hotels in Cornwall. And it's like, and it's main business. They're just cutting all of those keychains for thousands of keys. And you can design a small product and slowly send something through your shutter door, which is not involved with a survey, with dimensions, with drawings, with going on site, with spending time there, with spraying, with all of those hundreds of hours which you need to do before you even finish the project. So having this toy, you know, laying in the bed on Saturday and thinking, oh, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. Oh, that was nice product on Instagram. Maybe I can do it cheaper. You suddenly can have another 10, 20, 30%, or maybe even 100% profit line, which you never thought about. But, you know, playing around Friday evening, even going on the weekend, and prototyping something, suddenly you can have your product, which is not gonna involve your, you know, heavy usage of your time everywhere on sites and installation, dealing with the clients. Which also some of you, I know, you complain, and I know about that because sending 14 joiners and 3 vans everywhere around London, I got my gray hairs on that, you know, situation. I know what you're going through, and sometimes I wish I designed my own product, maybe to shift into maybe design and selling product, not being this contractor which is going on site. You never know. Now, number 11. Number 11 was the same like number 10. Now, so number 11, guys, that's very important. Again, I don't care what brand you buy, whatever brand you want to buy, but I'm 6 years with the Fabertech. And every time you call me and there is a new call, I always know when the client called me first time. So I always save it, you know, January 2022, 2023, April. I know when I had a first contact with the client. I still have contacts with clients who called me 2 years ago, asking about the machine. Oh, I'm gonna think, oh, I'm gonna, you know, maybe do this, maybe do that. And I know they're running their businesses. And they didn't went bankrupt. Everything is okay with their businesses because they call me after a year, maybe after 6 months, and we have a chat. And they're still deciding on CNC machine. Again, I don't care if it's Fabertech, if it's competition, if it's 150,000 SCM. I don't care. Guys, don't procrastinate. Just buy this machine. Buy cheap machine, 18,000. Start with something. Until you're gonna see how it can save your time, get more profit, remove this hassle, this heavy burden on your back, which you're doing by hand, or your guys. And sometimes you have conflicts in the workshop because something is not done in time, or there is errors, or they again damage the board, which costs 120 pounds. Just get it on leasing, get it on 5 years, pay 400 pounds, 500 pounds. I know you're gonna pay 6-7%, I know. No one is complaining about paying mortgage 4% for 30 years, but you know, you're gonna pay 1,000 pounds extra per year for a machine which literally brings you sometimes per day 1,000 pounds. By proper manufacturing, cutting 20 boards for someone for 40 pounds. That's gonna give you 800 pounds profit. Minus the cost, electricity or something, but that's minimal. So guys, please, I don't want to push you if your financial situation is not perfect or something. But if you're thinking about CNC, your friends have a CNC, you are seeing that in person, buy something, buy used one. I don't care, just buy something to get you on going into the CNC journey, because you're not gonna believe how much pleasure it's gonna bring to your life, how quick you're gonna catch up with all of the, you know, delays maybe you have, After a month, 2, you're gonna be a different person. So if you can, I can advise you guys. I was a joiner, 450 guys or even more knows me. I always try to get you the best product, not the most expensive, not the cheapest, but something which gonna get you going for the next 5 years. And sometimes I may be hard with the conversation, but I will always tell you how it is. And if you try to choose something which not gonna work for you, or I have a clients who didn't know what they want to do and they want to spend 35,000 for top model with everything, and they don't even have an idea. They want to go on retirement, they don't have an idea. I prefer to sell him, we don't have M0 anymore, but sell him, 10,000 pounds machine just to get him started. Then replace it, buy back or something, that always can be organized. But just get on this wagon with the CNC and start your journey and see that is very rewarding and fulfilling. And you don't have to be brainiac, PhD or something. I literally have guys who never touch the computer. And after 3-4 hours, they drawing simple shapes, they doing shaker styles. It's very easy to train joiner because you know all of the cutters. You know what would you do with the normal handheld or palm latter or normal tool. You just need to translate it into toolpath, what the program and then CNC is gonna do. So it's very easy to teach you how to draw a couple of vectors and simple shapes than teach you the whole spectrum of joinery works. So you're already there. You just need 1-2 hours guidance how to draw something and transfer that to the MFC, MDF, plywood board, which you understand for 10 years, 20 years because you're doing that. So wrapping everything up, guys, that's, first 10, 11 points, which, just comes to me in 30 minutes time when I have a conversation with you. If you have any questions, give me a call. Even if you're not gonna buy our machine, I'm always gonna chat with you and direct you to, let's say, best way where to go, not to overspend, not to underspend, but to get the proper product for your production. So, yeah, thank you very much, and I hope I'm gonna see you on your Instagram, CNC, any CNC soon, and your happy faces. And yeah, more happy joiners, the better. Cheers, bye. Charles Fabertech.